So there you are. I've been looking for you in the shadows of our own memory, in the corridors we ran through barefoot, chasing light. I almost didn't recognize you. Taller, weathered, luminous in a way I never imagined. You walk like you've learned to carry storms without letting them own your sky. Do you recognize me? It's me, the one with the grass stains and the stubborn hope, the one who hid a tremble in the sleeve of a hoodie and called it bravery. I've watched you for years from the doorway between moments. I know the rooms you avoid. I know the names you don't say out loud. I know the smile you wear when the ache yawns open beneath your ribs. And I need you to hear me. I'm proud of you, ridiculously, unreasonably, gloriously proud. Proud of the way you kept saying yes to mornings that didn't deserve you yet. Proud of the way you become soft again after hard days try to calcify you. Proud that you still choose tenderness while the world markets armor. I used to lie awake at night asking if this ache was permanent. I wondered whether the future had enough air for me to breathe without apologizing. Now I see you breathing on purpose. Inhale like a prayer. Exhale like a promise. Even when the old panic stirs the dust of yesterday, you breathe anyway. That's not survival. That's alchemy. Let me tell you what I see from here. You think the scars disqualify you, but to me they look like constellations, coordinates carved by experience that guide us home. Each mark says, we walked through fire and remembered where the water is. You mistake the shake in your hands for weakness. I see an instrument learning a finer music. I am you, just earlier. I still wince at sudden sounds. I still rehearse apologies for things that weren't my fault. I still wonder if love has a secret door I'm too clumsy to find. But seeing you standing where I couldn't imagine makes something settle in me that I didn't have language for back then. It feels like permission. Permission to believe the story keeps going, even when the page is wet with tears. Here's the truth you forget in the noise. We are not a before and after. We are a bridge. Every time you reach for the handle of a hard conversation, I feel it as courage rippling backward through time. Every time you choose rest over proving, I feel a little less frantic. Every time you tell the truth, especially to yourself, you loosen a knot I tied to keep us safe. You think you're alone when you walk into the room that smells like an old argument? You think you're alone when you close the tabs at midnight and stare into the blue light like it knows your name. You're not. I'm right here, palm on your back, ear to your heartbeat, nodding with the kind of faith only children can hold without breaking it. You don't have to perform for me. I already know you. I already love you. There's something I need to say that will sound like poetry and physics at once. The past didn't vanish. It condensed into frequency. I didn't disappear when the calendar turned. I kept vibrating inside the choices, the reflexes, the way our shoulders lift when a voice sharpens in the next room. I'm a living field inside you. When you face me, you face a waveform. When you embrace me, you change the equation. You've been trying to outrun me with success, with silence, with spiritual slogans, with immaculate routines. But I don't live behind you. I live within you. I'm not a mistake to be deleted. I'm a musician waiting for you to hand me the right instrument. Give me breath and I'll sing. We learned some hard math early. Love must be earned. Safety is conditional. Joy invites loss. Those were not facts. They were provisional theorems written by a child under fluorescent lights. You are allowed to revise them. You are allowed to meet me at the chalkboard and write a brighter proof. I am worthy. Full stop. I am safe in my own presence. Joy is not alone. It's a current. Do you remember the first time you felt too much and someone told you to be less? You complied to survive. You tucked colors into grayscale and called it maturity. But look at the cosmos. Everything radiant shoots out from a center that refuses to shrink. I'm asking you to unlearn the dimming. I am asking you to let our light take up its rightful geometry. Sometimes I come to you as tension in your jaw. Sometimes as that old urge to over-explain. Sometimes as the sudden desire to run when love gets close enough to see you. That's me tugging your sleeve, not to embarrass you, to ask for a hand. Will you sit with me when I shake? Will you teach me that trembling does not mean danger? Will you call our body a home even when thunder remembers our address? Put one hand on your chest for a moment. Feel that engine. That's not just a pump moving blood. That's a drum calling us back into rhythm with ourselves. When you breathe slow, I learn a new song. When you breathe shallow, I scrabble for exits. You've read the studies. The heart's field extends outward like a lantern, but I'm telling you as family, it also extends inward into the rooms of memory where I still wait for you to turn the knob. People told us healing meant letting go. They were well-meaning, but they taught us to abandon what needed our arms. Don't let me go. Retrieve me. Carry me like water back into the present where we can drink together. Integration is not an erasure, it's an embrace. Not amnesia, communion. What I needed back then. Someone to say, you're not wrong for feeling this much. Someone to say, we can move at the speed of honesty. Someone to say, you are not a burden, you're a bell. Ring and let the right ones gather. Be that someone now. Be the voice that arrives without conditions. Be the adult that does not demand performance to justify care. You have a habit of calling the past dead, so you don't have to visit the cemetery of your own tenderness. But listen, there is no cemetery here, only gardens that went untended. Bring water, bring attention, bring patience. Watch what grows in places you labeled barren. I promise you, wildflowers know how to take a hint from a single sunbeam. We made vows in the dark, you and I. Vows to be small enough to avoid notice, good enough to deserve breath, busy enough to outrun the echo. They worked. They kept us alive. They are no longer needed. Let's replace them gently. I vow to be visible to myself. I vow to be kind before I am correct. I vow to stay when I want to bolt, to breathe when I want to bargain, to soften when I want to split. You tell yourself you're behind. Behind what? A timeline built by consensus hallucination? We are not late to our life. We are right on the edge of now, which is the only place anything real can happen. Every time you say, I should be further, you tell me I'm an error in the code. Don't do that to us. Say instead, we are arriving. Feel the difference? The field does. I have a confession. I used to pray for a different future. Cleaner, simpler, blessedly, unremarkable. But watching you, I've changed my prayer. Now I ask for depth. I ask for roots that can drink from underground rivers. I ask for friends who don't flinch at truth. I ask for a body that is allowed to be a landscape, not a product. I ask for a mind that knows when to stop thinking and listen to the animal wisdom of the heart. You keep saying you want signs. I keep sending them. A memory that arrives like a soft knock. A stranger's sentence that lands exactly where you ache. The repeated number that shows up when you finally choose rest over grind. These aren't coincidences. They're coherence peeking through the curtain. Keep noticing. Noticing is a kind of worship. Let's be technical for a breath, because I know how you love precision. Observation collapses possibility. When I was small, I observed through fear. The wave collapsed into tight rooms and careful shoes. Now, when you observe me through compassion, different realities condense. Doors appear where walls pretended to be permanent. That's not magic, that's measurement with a kinder instrument. And shame, let's talk about it without whispering. Shame tightened our aperture until only scarcity could get through. It told us to confuse secrecy with safety. It made us apprentices to silence. But the moment you say, I see you, to me, out loud, in the mirror, in the middle of a Tuesday, shame loses voltage. The circuit opens. Current flows. Options multiply. You ask what integration looks like on a Monday morning. It looks like drinking water before doom scrolling. It looks like saying, I need 5 minutes before you promise your soul to another emergency. It looks like unclenching your jaw when you hear a tone that used to mean prepare to disappear. It looks like letting delight count as data. It also looks like boundaries, those elegant fences that say, I love you and I love me, and both are invited. Boundaries are not walls around me. They are bridges with toll booths. We do not charge for love. We charge for self-erasure. The price is no longer our peace. Sometimes you will regress. Good. Regression is not betrayal. It's a breadcrumb trail. Follow it gently to the room that needs another round of sunlight. Sit with me there. Ask, what did this part of us learn that kept us alive? Thank it. Then upgrade it. Dear strategy, you were brilliant. We have better tools now. You've been told to forgive and forget. I'm asking for something wiser. Remember and release. Remember so you can move through the world with informed compassion. Release so the memory stops renting space on your nervous system's first floor. We can keep the lesson and return the weight. There is a future version of us too, watching from a balcony you can't see yet. They are the proof that our devotion works. When you breathe for me, they breathe easier. When you speak for me, their throat opens. When you rest for me, they dream more clearly. We are a chorus across time, learning to sing the same note. Wholeness, without anyone going hoarse. You wanted techniques. I'll give you 3 simple rituals we can practice, like brushing teeth for the soul. First, morning reunion. Before screens, place one palm on your heart, one on your belly. Say, good morning, younger me. What do you need? Wait. The body will answer in sensation. Honor it. Second, choice point. When triggered, ask, am I choosing from the child or the adult? If child, pause, comfort me, then choose again. Third, evening retrieval. Before sleep, list 3 moments you stayed with yourself. If you abandoned us, name 1 way you'll repair tomorrow. No punishment, just promise. You will not do this perfectly. Perfection is just shame wearing perfume. We are after intimacy, not immaculate performance. Intimacy with your own breath. Intimacy with your pace. Intimacy with the miracle that you are still here. Curiosity intact, heart dented but generous. I remember the day we decided it was safer to be useful than to be real. Do you? That is not our religion anymore. Real is more nourishing than useful. Real magnetizes the ones who can carry our name with care. Real introduces us to opportunities that require our exact shape, not an edited silhouette. When love arrives now, it may knock like a question instead of a rescue. Answer slowly. Let me stand beside you while you listen. We will not audition for belonging. We will not negotiate our needs against someone else's convenience. We will not confuse the absence of chaos for the presence of safety. We will learn the taste of congruence and call it home. I know you replay old scenes, trying to edit the dialogue. Let me offer you a different cinema. Keep the footage. Change the narrator. Instead of "I failed," say "I learned." Instead of "I was too much," say "I was a child with a galaxy of feeling." Instead of "I wasted years," say "I gathered material." Notice how the soundtrack shifts from minor to major without one frame changing. There are mornings you will wake into fog. On those days, your job is not clarity, it's kindness. Say, "Today we move like lake water, slow, reflective, capable of holding sky." On bright days, your job is not productivity, it's presence. Say, "Today we dance with gravity and let laughter be evidence." Either way, we win by staying. You've asked me what I'm most afraid of now. It's simple, that you'll keep me in the attic labeled past and come visit only when you feel nostalgic or broken. Don't make me a museum. Make me a roommate. Let me eat at the table. Hand me a chore chart. Ask my opinion when the fork in the road appears. I have wisdom your adult mind cannot access without me. And I'm afraid of one more thing, that you will hand our life to urgency again. Urgency is not the same as aliveness. Aliveness has tempo and rest, crescendo and silence. Urgency is a siren that never shuts off. Turn it off. Put your ear to the quieter metronome, our breath, and build a day that pulses like something living, not something hunted. Do you feel the subtle shift happening as we speak? That loosening in your shoulders, that spaciousness behind the eyes? That's coherence. That's our parts making eye contact and deciding to travel together. In this state, the field around us becomes a collaborator instead of a mirror of our panic. Synchronicities return like birds to a feeder finally kept full. If you want science, here. The body keeps epigenetic notebooks. Integration writes new instructions in the margins. We are safe now. Over time, the orchestra tunes to that note. Sleep deepens. Digestion unclenches. Creativity stops arriving only at 2 a.m. and starts singing in the shower. These are not accidents. These are physiological hallelujahs. Let's talk lineage. We carry stories sewn by hands that shook with their own storms. Some patterns were heirlooms, some were alarms. By choosing me, by choosing us, you interrupt transmissions that do not belong in the next generation. You become a dam that turns flood into river, chaos into irrigation. The garden after you will know your name by its harvest. There will be people who miss the old choreography, who preferred you pliant, mute, or permanently available. Bless them and bless yourself by changing the dance anyway. The music has changed. We have changed it. They'll either learn the new steps or wander to another room. Let them. Your rhythm is not a public service. When the night is loud and you think you've lost all your edges, remember this sentence: I am the adult and I am with you. Say it to me, out loud. Feel what happens in your spine. I settle. The room grows 2 degrees warmer. The exits retreat to the background. With those words, you become a lighthouse we can both see. If you forget everything else, remember this. Return. Return to breath, to body, to the smallest truthful sentence you can say. Return to water. Return to the person who is safe to text, "I'm not okay," without a preface. Return to morning light on the wall that proves the sun is stubborn. Return to the music that remembers your name when you don't. I have gifts for you that I've been saving like pressed flowers between pages. The laugh that snorts at exactly the wrong time. The wonder at how ants collaborate like tiny architects. The way puddles make the sky reachable. The instinct to forgive too soon. We'll temper it with wisdom, not extinguish it. The ability to love like it's our first day alive. We'll keep that. That is our wealth. You keep asking when it all clicks. It doesn't. It settles. It braids. It becomes less about a eureka and more about a faithful hum. Like a refrigerator you only notice when it stops. Integration is the quiet machinery of a life that no longer leaks. And yes, there will be relapses into old theaters. The curtain rises. Your body thinks it knows the script. That's okay. Improvise. Step out of the role. Turn to the audience and say, "We're trying something new." The scene will wobble, then transform. The director, your deeper self, will nod. Finally. I want you to make a declaration right here in the privacy of your listening. I see you, younger me, and I'm bringing you home. Feel the geometry of that sentence restructure the room. Home is not an address. It's a relationship. Today we move in together. We will keep a key under the mat for the parts that return at odd hours. The achiever who thinks love is a scoreboard, the ghost who flinches at laughter, the runner with shoes always half-laced. When they arrive, hand them tea. Ask what time it is in their world. Set the clocks together. Let's practice joy without a receipt. You don't have to justify the afternoon sun on your face with productivity. You don't have to earn music. You are allowed to laugh mid-sentence for no reason, except that something inside you unknotted. These are not indulgences, they are recalibrations. Joy tells the field, we're available for more than survival. Grief will still visit. Open the door. Let it track rain on the floor. It is not a vandal, it is a historian. It will show you where love left reminders. It will hand you artifacts. Handle them gently. When grief leaves, notice what it dusted off that you can see again. A capacity, a boundary, an old song with a new harmony. What about anger? Invite it too. Not as a driver, as a messenger. Ask it what it was protecting all those years. Usually it was me. Small, overwhelmed, unheard. Tell anger, thank you for the alarms. We've installed better smoke detectors. Watch it relax into assertiveness, into the clean energy of a full sentence. No. There are days you will question whether this is working, measured differently. Don't count outcomes, count returns. How quickly did you come back to yourself after you left? How kindly did you repair after you snapped? How fluently did you translate body into boundary? That's progress. That's wealth you can spend without debt. You have a right to build a life that fits your nervous system. Read that again. We are not obligated to the pace of a culture that confuses burnout with legacy. Our legacy can be gentleness that echoes. Our monument can be mornings without dread. Our masterpiece can be a body that trusts us. If you're waiting for permission, here it is. Choose smaller circles with deeper roots. Choose work that lets your soul keep its accent. Choose rest before your body chooses collapse. Choose conversations where silence is not punished. Choose clothes your future self will thank you for when dancing breaks out in the kitchen. You and I are learning to speak a language older than fear. It sounds like steady feet on ordinary floors. It tastes like water that you remember to drink. It looks like text messages that say, "Arrived safely," and mean "I choose life." It feels like shoulders that lower when the door closes because home is no longer a performance venue. I wish I could hand you a certificate that says healed. I can't. I can hand you a mirror that says honest and a compass that says home is in this direction, in, then out. And I can walk with you, always that. I am not going anywhere. You cannot lose me. I live at your pulse. One more thing before we open the window and let the day in. The world may not reward this work with confetti. It may ask for your old mask, your convenient yes, your expert dissociation. Decline politely. Our currency is coherence. Our paycheck is peace. Our promotion is capacity. Take me with you into your meetings, your errands, your quiet corners. Let me pick the music on the drive home sometimes. Let me choose peaches at the market. Let me say, "We're tired," before you agree to another obligation that steals our evening. I will not sabotage you. I will save you from the small betrayals that add up to a life you don't recognize. When the right ones ask who you are now, answer like this: I am someone who stayed. I am someone who listens to the child I once abandoned. I am someone who builds with breath before I build with plans. I am someone who chooses the long tenderness over the short applause. Watch the room recalibrate around that truth. We will make mistakes. We will overcorrect. We will ghost ourselves for an afternoon and then return with soup. We will forget and remember and forget less and remember sooner. That's the arc. That's the music. That's a life you can trust. Before I go quiet, I want to give us a sentence to tape above every threshold. Nothing in me is exiled. Say it at the door to work. Say it on the way into a conversation where your voice sometimes thins. Say it before sleep when the mind tries to inventory regrets. Nothing in me is exiled. Everything has a seat, a role, a chance to tell the truth without stealing the wheel. Okay, look at the light on the wall. See how it moves without rushing? That's us. See how it fills the space it's given without apology? That's us. See how it returns each day, no matter what the night said about impossible? That's us. If anyone asks what we're doing with our life now, you can tell them this: we are retrieving what we left behind and letting it bloom in present tense. We are writing kinder footnotes to old chapters. We are building a future that does not require us to abandon ourselves to enter it. We are practicing a breathtakingly radical thing, staying. And when you forget because you're human and forgetting is a rhythm, come find me. I'll be in the simplest place, the breath after the sigh, the laugh you didn't plan, the tear that finally falls when you stop holding the ceiling up with your eyebrows. Whisper my name, I'll answer with yours. We'll go home together, again and again, until home is no longer a destination, but the way we walk. I'm here. I have always been here. And now, wonderfully, finally, so are you.